Hello, my name is Michael Evans, and this is Cards and Boards. So, back HalCon 2016, I think it was, there was a small gaming company from Halifax that had a booth at HalCon called Vesuvius Media. They had their games set up, and there was one that really drew my eye. That was Centauri Saga, which I picked up there. I did an unboxing for it back then, but they had a Kickstarter for their latest expansion, which was the Season 1 expansion, which was a Legacy game. But it was a Legacy game for Centauri Saga, but the Legacy part was just in that expansion. So the only thing that changed was Legacy was in that expansion. You needed the base game to use it. It added onto it, and you could do this expansion. Now, so I got the upgrade pack to upgrade from version 1 to version 1.5. I also got the special ops. I did get the Legacy expansion, but there was a mistake when it was being shipped to me. I contacted Vesuvius Media. They're already sending me the expansion, but I don't have it for this unboxing, which is good because I wasn't really planning on unboxing it anyway because I didn't want to give anything away. So it actually works out well in this case. But I will unbox the stuff that, all this extra goodies that we got for as stretch goals for the campaign and the special ops add-on that you could get. Now, of course, it has the rule book. It has a rule book, which is supposed to be an improvement to the first rule book. A lot of people have problems. I didn't find it that bad, but a lot of people have problems with it. But they separated it from the rule book and the scenario book. Now, the scenarios are on cards, but this is, they also had, in the original version, in the back of the rulebook, explained what you had to do in more detail. They decided to split it up into its own separate book to make it even easier to look things up, which I thought is really good. They also have new player boards. They have the little slots you can poke out, so you can actually put the cubes inside, so they don't slide around. They actually go into the board, and it's a nice thick. They're nice thick boards too. They're really nice quality. I believe there are 6 of them. Yeah, there are 6 of them in case you got the 4 and 5. In case you got the 5 and 6 player expansions. I didn't get that mainly because I wanted to, but then the main group that I play with, other than the 4 here, we were up to 5, and then so I really wanted to get the 5th and 6th player expansion, but then people stopped coming. Some people stopped coming, so it was only 4 people when I was backing this. So I'm like, okay, I don't need that. And now, of course, we're back up to like 5 or 6 people usually. So it would have been nice to get that too, but I didn't. So hindsight's 2020. Now, we got extra miniatures. These are extra bad guys that were unlocked as Kickstarter stretch goals. And there's some assembly required, like say, especially with this guy. They all come with the base on attached. So you got the base, and you got these things that attach around the edges. Or does it matter? Okay, yeah, it was the wrong end. Okay, so it does matter what side you put this base on. Awesome. So that is pretty much what it looks like when you have this guy. Then we have a couple other ships. It's another bad guy that was unlocked. There we go. Hopefully the cameras and you can see them on the table as well. So these were a few of the ships that were unlocked during the Kickstarter campaign. Here are both new cards that can be added to scenarios, and also some fixing some cards that needed fixing. So this is the new Ravager's Demise. Oh, that's not the ship, that's the quest that requires that. Some of the cards. I'm gonna have to go through and see what cards I have to replace and what cards I just add in. Because, like I say, some were just extras that get added to the decks to give you more options. Some were cards meant to fix various wording problems. No, basically this was the main reason the upgrade was the main reason I backed this Kickstarter, was because the game I really like the game. I haven't played it a lot, unfortunately. I hope to play it more soon. I want to get a couple of games in regular version before I start playing the Legacy version. Legacy versions tend to make me a bit nervous. I honestly wasn't sure if I was going to back it for the Legacy version, but I figured, well, it's for Studious Media, so their games are a lot of fun. They really love their games. If you ever get a chance to talk to them at a convention or anything like that, take the chance and talk to them, and because they love their games. They're really passionate about what they do, and it's a lot of fun talking to them. And so I'm not big for Legacy games, so I figure, well, if they're doing it, I'm gonna give it a shot. Although if they ever do a Seven Dwarfs Legacy game, I am backing that in a heartbeat. I really like the Seven Dwarfs stuff, so Seven Dwarfs Fall is a lot of fun. Really looking forward to Seven Dwarfs Winter. But I like the thought that, you can just get a little $20 or $30 expansion as a Legacy, rather than and then just that little expansion is the part that changes. Your base game stays the same, so you can use that again and again and again as normally. So I really like that idea they have for Legacy, because the idea of Legacies tend to stress me out a bit. Because what if I do something wrong, then the whole game is ruined? Although I really am looking forward to Betrayal Legacy. But I figured this way, if something like I say, if we really mess up the Legacy game, it's just a relatively inexpensive expansion, not the whole game that we're throwing away, that we're messing up. A few of these cards. Oh. So these are basically the upgrade cards. You got the upgrades down here. you'll upgrade, like the power up in units. So that's why some will have the various things like on the back showing where you put them, what you do with them. I don't know if that, yeah. Oops. Like I say, the art looks great in this game. The models, the miniatures look great. This game looks awesome. I really like the gameplay as well. I haven't played it, like I say, I haven't played as much as I would have liked to, but hopefully that's going to change soon. If I can get a good group together for the Legacy when that comes in a couple of days, figure out maybe start playing that. And it's designed so that way if every once in a while someone misses a game, they can easily jump out and jump in from scenario to scenario, from session to session, sort of thing. So it won't affect it that badly. But that is the upgrade. Take a look in the special ops. So a couple of scenarios, or a couple of missions. So a couple of missions and some tokens and 2 new commanders. Basically, this is just add a little bit extra oomph to your game. You can play with the base game and any of the scenarios in the base game, or with the or you can add it into the Legacy games. There's nothing here that if you had been smart enough to get the 5th and 6th player game, like expansion, like I should have, you have enough for the 5th and 6th player as well. So there's the rules to add that in. Get some tokens, and the player tokens, enough for up to 6 players. So we have the new captains. Now, I also have in the couple, it came with 1 or 2 new promo captains for this game as well. Can't remember how many. Off the top of my head. Now here's some of the mission cards. So basically, see what you have to do: visit 3 asteroid fields, and you reward plus 1 die for shields. So that's pretty cool. So we'll tell you, basically, it'll tell you what you need. I think every player gets 1, and if you fulfill it, you will get your reward. Can't remember off the top of my head how these missions work again, but I'm pretty sure it's basically everybody gets X amount of missions at the beginning of the scenario, and if you fulfill it, you get those bonuses. It might be for specific captains, I'm not sure. it could be. It might also be if there's X amount for everybody tries for them. The first person who gets them gets it. I'm not sure. That is nice little. That's the unboxing for that. For the two nice little for the expansion and for the upgrade. I should get my I should get the Legacy expansion in soon. I won't do an unboxing for that because I don't want to give any spoilers away. That's a big thing about Legacy games is that you can't really delve too deeply into them in things like this, or else you're going to give a lot away to the viewers and to yourself. So I'm really looking forward to finding out what they're gonna have for this Legacy. I've heard good so far. I've heard people say it's really interesting. They did a really good job on it. That's all I really have to say for now, though. This has been Cards and Boards. Thanks for watching. Have a good evening.